Today, as we wait for the cathedral to reopen, shortly before midday, the camp is very quiet. It has a kind of fanned protester feel about it. There are in fact, I think, more journalists here, and they could see them interviewing some members of, I think this is the anonymous site with the masks on. There are more journalists here, it seems, almost than protesters. I guess they might be all away in their working groups or doing whatever they're doing. And it's a lot tidier than it has been really since I've seen it. And the signs with the foul language on them seem mostly to have disappeared. It's pretty tidy. And this morning when I got here, it was very wet, and there'd clearly been a massive hose down at the steps in preparation for the reopening this morning. Are you anonymous?
I am now.
Just to sum up again, the impression I got from what you were saying is that you're interested in not particularly either against the police or against the church as an institution, and actually you think they're kind of wonderful. You just don't want them to
okay, well, I'll break that down.
Can you say a bit more about
that?
I'll
break that down, yeah. I have, ever since I was a young boy, been brought up to respect our police force. If you can imagine, when I was, let's say I was 15 or so, 1985, the police force used to wear blue. They were called the Our Boys in Blue. They were largely very approachable. The Bobby on the beat, the Constable Dixon of Dock Green. It was all very much a wonderful admiration of the police, and it was always instilled in me to have faith in our police force and believe in our police and trust our police force. And that's always been the same, but over the last decade I've noticed a change in tactics. I mean, there's an old saying, if you dress someone like Robocop, they think like Robocop, and that approachability seems to be gone. But having said that, the police on this occupation have been extremely good, and they have their faults. I mean,
I don't know, to be honest. You've got more respect for us than the mass media, by the way.
Yeah.
I am the mass media.
So who are you working for?
Times. Been here for?
Since the first day. I've had 2 days off.
And are you camping overnight?
No, I'm sleeping. I'm getting micro sleep.
Where?
Micro sleep.
Just explain that to me.
That's the practice of sleeping for like 30 seconds and then...
So where are you living?
I'm just like around.
Have you got a tent or?
No, I'm around and I'm not sleeping.
Good.
Well, it's extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, you can't move for tents around here at the moment, and nice, keen young students. Whether any of them will ever actually go inside the cathedral once they get around to opening the doors is another matter, I think, Ruth.
What do you think about poor Giles's departure?
I think it's very sad and unnecessary, and an example of the sort of bind that the Church of England always gets itself into. Hand-wringing and uncertainty and a lack of clarity about means and ends and all the rest of it, I think.
How do you think they've handled this whole thing?
Oh, appallingly badly. Don't necessarily blame them because it was landed on them, but I think the decision to close the cathedral was a ridiculous over-escalation of the crisis. And I don't think it was particularly a crisis before that actually happened. But it could only end in tears once they took such a drastic step.
So get yourself in the queue, and usually it costs £14 to go in there, but I think it should be free. So stand in queue.
And here we are witnessing the mass conversion of the hordes of Fleet Street. Photographers and journalists all lining up to be first in.
It'll be a very unholy audience today. Audience? Congregation?
Congregation,
Hello.
please! Hello!
Do you know whether Giles is coming?
Oh yes, I think he'll be there.
Yeah, I thought he said
better.
he wanted to. Yeah.
Otherwise
They're saying they might give him a standing ovation if he does.
Tied prayer to the railings while we wait for the doors to open. I don't suppose she'll be allowed into the cathedral. Mass media epiphany going on here. not a huge queue to get back in. Those that are there are, I fear, mainly from my own profession. Journalists still, we're in as much need of salvation as anybody, I suppose. And the bell's ringing and the door is opening. It is free entry today.
There is no photography inside, please. No photography.
It is magnificent here. Will you be going to the service?
Is the service starting now?
At
The
half
Eucharist,
past.
Yeah, I may well do.
So in a sense you could say there's been some kind of result, although this is far but over. It is a fact the church is now fuller than the campsite, with the service about to start. We're not allowed to film the service, so I'll say goodbye now and see you next time.